one of my favourites. It's about 33 thoroughbreds, horses, who decided on a Thursday to cause trouble. And it goes like this. 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. I'm not recording this on a Thursday, so you can do it on any day, this tongue twister. 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. I'm going to try it 3 times. Wish me luck. 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. So you can go quickly, but remember to get all those TH sounds. Yep. 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. 33 thirsty. 1, 2, 3. Finger, finger. Finger, finger. What's the time? What's the time? Mr. Wolf. Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Are you keeping up? I'm going really quick. Hula, hula. Hula, hula. But darling, I love you. But darling, I love you. Boom. Boom. You bet you are. You bet you are. I'm looking for the man who's got my pa. I'm looking for the man who's got my pa. Small as a mouse. As small as a mouse. You bet you are. Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Oh la la. Oh la la. Oh no. Uno, uno dos, uno dos. I'm looking for the man who's got my pa. I'm looking for the man who's got my pa. I'm looking for the man who's got my pa. But darling, I love you. But darling, I love you. Uno, uno dos, uno dos. Boom. Save the world. Save the world. The dragon is coming. The dragon is coming. The dragon is coming. The dragon is coming. How'd you go? How'd you go? How'd you go? How'd you go? Venga, venga. Hula, hula. Did you keep up? That's the fastest venga, venga ever. Yeah. A few of you may know that the poet John Masefield was really inspired by the sea. And a lot of his poems are to do with the sea and where your imagination can take you in those worlds. This one is a new one for me. It's called A Wanderer's Song. It's got 4 verses. It definitely rhymes. And see if you can imagine the world that John Masefield is describing. A Wanderer's Song by John Masefield. A wind's in the heart of me, a fire's in my heels. I am tired of brick and stone and rumbling wagon wheels. I hunger for the sea's edge, the limit of the land, where the wild old Atlantic is shouting on the sand. Oh, I'll be going, leaving the noises of the street, to where a lifting foresail foot is yanking at the sheet, to a windy tossing anchorage where yawls and ketches ride. Oh, I'll be going, going, until I meet the tide. And first I'll hear the sea wind, the mewing of the gulls, the clucking, sucking of the sea about the rusty hulls. The songs at the capstan, at the hooker, warping out. And then the heart of me'll know I'm there or thereabout. Oh, I am sick of brick and stone. The heart of me is sick. For windy, green, unquiet sea, the realm of Moby Dick. And I'll be going, going from the roaring of the wheels. For a wind's in the heart of me, a fire's in my heels. Ah, that was wonderful. That was so much fun to share with you. Oh, that pulling of the sea at the heart. John Masefield is not going to resist. He's going to be out on those seas again. This tongue twister is all about the THs. Oh, don't give me that. You know what it's about? It's about 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds. What did they do? They thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. You should know, I've just done it in the park. Okay. Shall we have a go? Remember, I'm not a big fan of the London duh, so give me 33. Get that tongue and those teeth working together to give me those THs. That's why I like it. Should we just try it once, okay? Yeah, just once. And 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. Do you know what a thoroughbred is? Yeah, it's a really powerful racehorse. So let's be powerful racehorses. Ha ha! And do it 3 times, okay? Don't go and not give me a TH. All right, I still want those THs, okay? 3 times, like powerful racehorses, like powerful, thundering, thirsty thoroughbreds. But it's the other way around. Remember, 33 thirsty. Here we go. 3 times. Remember to breathe, okay? And 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. Breathe. 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. Last one. 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. Oh, that's a lot of thurs. Should we try it one more time? You know what I'm going to say in it. One breath. Yes, one breath. Breathe in. Okay, let that one go. Here we go. 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. 33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thurber on Thursday. Don't ask me why I was doing this. It was like I was a train. Are you ready? No, are you ready? What is it time for? It's time for Venga, Venga. Venga, Venga. Venga. Are you ready? Okay, come on now. I am not wasting no time. I've got things to do. I've got poems to share. And Venga, Venga. Venga, Venga. Pumpkin. Haha. Pumpkin. The dragon is coming. Hudge gold, hudge gold. Superhero. I nearly forgot that one. Superhero. Save the world. Hudge gold, hudge gold. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. You bet you are. No, I'm a star. I'm a star. The dragon is coming. The dragon is coming. Boom. Boom. Ole. Ha ha. Ole. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Hudge gold, hudge gold. Pineapple. 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 Yeah. Pineapple. Boom. Boom. You know I'm going to get you. Boom. Ha ha. Boom. Ah. 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 You bet you are. I'm a star. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin. What's the time? Aha! What's the time? What's the time? You bet you are. Fantastic. This is a poem for us to share. But it's a very different kind of poem. It's still really imaginative. It still takes us on a journey, but it's really talking to our feelings. It's written by Kathleen Rain and it's called The Moment. And in this poem, she uses all what Mother Nature is about. The seas and the deserts, time, days and nights, to explore, to explain those feelings when everything is just so huge. You know, have you ever had that feeling when, there's just so much to deal with? There's so much going on. How do I try and understand and get it? That's what this poem is talking about. So I'm going to read it to you. I want you to have a listen and see what it's saying to your heart. What resonates? What really links with how you're feeling inside? Okay? The Moment by Kathleen Rain. To write down all I contain at this moment, I would pour the desert through an hourglass, the sea through a water clock, grain by grain and drop by drop, let in the trackless, measureless, mutable seas and sands. For earth's days and nights are breaking over me. The tides and sands are running through me, and I only have 2 hands and a heart to hold the desert and the sea. What can I contain of it? It escapes and eludes me. The tides wash me away. The desert shifts under my feet. It's quite a biggie, isn't it? But I love it. It's got 3 verses. But this is a poem that is written in the style of free writing, free verse. There is no really obvious structure. So you know sometimes when we share a poem and it might be 2 verses or 3 verses and there's 4 lines in the poem and they rhyme and there's a definite rhythm. This poem is not that. This poem, you know, I said to you sometimes poets are really cheeky and they like to break the rules. Miss Kathleen Rain is breaking those rules. The first verse has 5 lines. The second verse has just over 3. And the third verse has 3 lines. So already, yeah, she's breaking that convention. This poem is really imaginative. It's drawing great pictures in our minds, and it's got a very different tone. So you might have heard that I dropped my voice a little bit, so I made it a little bit quieter, and I really took my time. I'm going to read it through again, and I want you to allow the words to find how you're feeling. Okay? Have a listen. The Moment by Kathleen Rain. To write down all I contain at this moment, I would pour the desert through the hourglass, the sea through a water clock, grain by grain and drop by drop, let in the trackless, measureless, mutable seas and sands. For earth's days and nights are breaking over me, the tides and sands are running through me, and I have only 2 hands and a heart to hold the desert and the sea. What can I contain of it? It escapes and eludes me, the tides wash me away, the desert shifts under my feet. Now, you know, Miss Naomi, I always talk to you straight, don't you? You know that. There are some times in our lives where we just feel, whoa, that's really big and really huge, and I don't know how to deal with it, and that's okay. Kathleen Rain is agreeing with us. She's saying that I'm feeling so much. If I was an hourglass, you know, like an egg timer, all of the deserts on this earth, all of those grains of sand, all of those bits of sand would fill me up. She's saying that the days and nights are just rushing past me. They're just breaking over me, she says. They're just going on and on. I have no sense of time. And she says, I've only got 2 hands and a heart to hold the desert and the sea. It's just me. I'm a really small person in this huge planet, and I'm trying to do the best I can, but it's really hard at the moment. The final verse, she says, what can I contain of it? It escapes and eludes me. So eludes means that it avoids. So she's trying to take all of this big moment in, this big thing that's happened to her, but it's escaping for her. It's running through her fingertips like sand. She can't get a hold of it. The tides wash me away, the desert shifts under my feet. So she doesn't end with that, oh, and they all lived happily ever after. She's saying everything is just happening. I'm losing grip with my feet in the sand, and the tide's just washing me away. But it's okay, because it's just a moment. There will become another moment and another after that, and it will be okay. So I chose this one purposely. Yeah. Let's think about which words. The Moment by Kathleen Rain. No actions. To write down all I contain at this moment. It's got to be moment, I think. I do like contain though. To write down all I contain. Should we do both? Let's do contain and moment. To write down all the feelings that I've got inside me at this moment. So, to write down all I contain at this moment. I would pour the desert through an hourglass. So, it is so big what she's feeling that that massive hourglass would hold all the sand in the world. So what words? I would pour the desert through an hourglass. I think hourglass. It's hyphenated. So it's 2 together. The sea through a water clock. I've never seen a water clock. Have you ever seen a water clock? A clock that measures water? How exciting. Let's do that, because we can use our imaginations. Grain by grain and drop by drop. Let's do it. Grain by grain. Drop by drop. Letting the trackless, measureless, mutable seas and sands. So mutable means that it's changeable. So the sea is never the same, right? Sands are never the same. We know that waves come and go, and tides and shingle moves and changes, and sand drifts from one place to another. So she's saying, letting the trackless, measureless, changeable, she uses the word mutable, seas and sands. Let it all in. This feeling that I'm experiencing at the moment is so big. Bring it all. Bring it all. Let me experience this. So letting the trackless, measureless. I want mutable because it's a new word. So let's have mutable, seas and sands. That's the first verse done. For earth's days and nights are breaking over me. I like the days and nights. Let's do two. For earth's days and nights are breaking over me. The tides and sands are running through me. Should we do tides and sands? And I have only two hands. Let's go with the obvious. So two hands and a heart. Should we do that? All right. And I have only two hands and a heart to hold the desert. Oh, I'm feeling that. The desert and the sea. Yeah? Third verse now. You see how gorgeous this poem is? What can I contain of it? She asks. It escapes and eludes me. So, escape and eludes. I think we could do actions for that. Again, something quite abstract but moving. Yeah, that would be lovely. The tides wash me away. The desert shifts under my feet. I like away and I like shifts. So looking at it, what did I say? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's actually not a long poem. All right, so it's 5 plus the 3 and 2. So let's say that's 8. So it's about 11 lines, which isn't very much. But the wonderful thing is that she's dealing with something really huge. Should we do actions? Alrighty. The Moment by Kathleen Rain. Sorted. Da, 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 da. To write down all I contain at this moment. What could we do? To write down all I contain. Maybe something from the heart to show this is about feelings. Let's do that. So I want you to find an action to write down all I contain. So it may be that you're bringing your hands in, you're putting your hands on your heart, but there's something going on around here, yeah? To write down all I contain at this moment. Because she calls it the moment, not a moment, not many moments, but the moment. So let's bring that into that first line. To write down all I contain at this moment. And I want us to keep our actions really clean and clear because the words are they're so powerful in this poem. So we've got to write down all I contain or contain, whatever you want to do, something that shows everything that you are inside. To write down all I contain, then bring it out at this moment. Keep that strong. Don't give me no, yeah, this moment. Keep it strong, yeah? I would pour the desert through an hourglass. For the hourglass, I want the shape. It's such a beautiful shape. So do you know what I mean by an hourglass, like an egg timer? So it kind of comes in and then goes back out again, yeah? And grains of sand go from the top to the bottom, and when you switch it, they go the other way. Sometimes people use it as a measurement for how long they've got to boil their eggs for. That's why it's called an egg timer. But she says an hourglass. Yeah, so this one is measuring time, hours. So I think we'll do that shape, but keep it nice and soft, rounded corners, yeah? I would pour the desert through an hourglass. Or do we think the bottom? What do you think? The top? You make up your own mind, yeah? I would pour the desert through an hourglass and keep it nice and soft. It's a really beautiful movement. The sea through a water clock. Now I've got to admit, I've never met a water clock before. I didn't know these things existed, but then I'm not a sailor, I'm not a pirate, so what would I know? And I'm not very good at swimming. So I think we can use something a bit different in shape. The sea through a water clock. So we could do something with water clock, maybe. The sea through a, I kind of feel this movement. I don't know why, it's just feeling good. So the sea through a water clock, the sea through a water.
Could we do, would this work? I don't know. The sea through a water clock, is that a bit? The sea through a water, okay, I'm going to do something a bit different. Go with me. So, the sea, excuse me, through a water clock. Just stop it. That's time stopping. Yeah, I like that. So, do you know what? I've not written down any of these actions. I would put, show me again an hourglass. Yes, what are we doing? That's right, we're doing the shape of the hourglass. I'm not doing a very good shape, but I kind of know what I mean. The sea through a water clock. And you end it. So we have water clock. So make sure the timing of the action goes with the words, yeah? The sea through a water clock, okay? So grain by grain and drop by drop. What could we do? Got to go with the rhythm of that line. Grain by grain and drop by drop. Could it be grain by grain and then maybe drop by drop? How about that? Does that work? Grain by grain, like you're picking grain. Drop by drop. Does that work? Let's try it. Grain by grain, drop by drop. Whilst I'm doing this, I can hear the raindrops in the background, which is adding a lovely soundscape. Ha-ha! So we have grain, picking the grain by grain, and then you come up, drop by drop. Keep it nice and small and neat. Let the trackless, measureless, mutable seas and sands. So the only words we're actioning is mutable. Let in the trackless, measureless, mutable seas and sands. So she's saying, in this big moment, with everything that's going on, bring it all. Yeah, let in the seas and sands which have no limits, which are so big. I mean, have you ever tried to count count sea grains? Sea grains? Have you ever tried to count sand grains on the beach? Oh, I think I've got to about 15. I thought, I'll forget this because I only had a little bit in my hand. So the sea and the sand are so big. She's saying, just bring it. Bring it all because I'm going to experience this moment and it's okay. So let in the trackless, measureless. What did I say mutable was? Do you remember? Let me check my notes. Yeah. Do you remember? Oh, do you remember what I said it was? Because I still check my notes. Yeah. Changeable. Something that is not the same. It changes. Like, remember what I said? The sea, yeah? So the seas change with the tides and the waves. Remember, we've got measureless as well, yeah? So you just can't measure it. It's just so big, you just can't. I mean, if I said to you how many grains of sand are there in the world, would you know? Because it's so huge, it's so big, just can't understand it, okay? So I want an action for changeable. Let in the trackless, measureless, changeable, which is being said by mutable. Mutable. Maybe we can do something, like the seas and the sands, things shifting, changing. Oh, I quite like that. Let in the trackless, measureless, mutable. Maybe we should bring that in from the beginning. Let in the trackless. So maybe we bring in that, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. Let in the trackless, measureless, mutable seas and sands. That's good. I knew we'd get there. So we've got, let in the trackless, lovely, measureless, mutable. What did I say it was? That's right. Always changing. Just checking. Let in the trackless, measureless, mutable seas and sands. So bring it and then make the sands be the stop. Does that make sense? So let me write that down so we've got it. For earth's days and nights are breaking over me. So time is passing. I'm in this moment and it seems like this moment is just going on forever. But the thing with moments is that they do end. Okay, so she's saying, for earth's days and nights are breaking over me. So what could we do for days and nights? Should we keep it quite simple? For earth's days, open it out, and nights. Let's keep that quite simple because we've got a lot of abstract stuff happening in the first verse. So we've got, for earth's days and nights are breaking over me. So let's do that. So we're going out for days, right? And then in for nights, okay? For earth's days and nights are breaking over me. Superb. Let's move on. The tides and sands are running through me. So again, I think keep this really simple. So let the power of the word speak. So can we do the tides and sands? Let's just keep that. So it's like tide, water moving. But let's do the same for sand. It's quite nice. The tides and sands are running through me. Yeah? The tides and sands are running through me. Let them meet. The tides, so you're there in the middle, and sands are running through me. Okay, let me just put those down. La, 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 la. Oh, la, 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 la. And let's keep, again, really nice and simple. And I have only 2 hands, and then bring them to your heart, and a heart to hold the, can we bring it back because I like the action so much. So, and I have only, did I do 2 hands? 2 hands, 2 hands, I like that. Show your hands. And I have only 2 hands, bring it to your heart, and a heart to hold the desert, yeah, to the middle, and the sea. And bring it back so that they meet. Does that make sense? So, and a ho, and a ho, and a ho. We're on the final verse. Ah, so lovely. So she asked the question, what can I contain of it? So how can I deal with all of this emotion, all of this stuff I'm experiencing in the moment? It escapes and eludes me, it avoids me, I can't get it. So what can I contain of it? It escapes, you try to get it. It escapes, do the same with the other side, and eludes me. It escapes and eludes me. So trying to reach this thing, trying to get it, but it escapes you, it avoids you, it misses, you miss it, yeah? What can I contain of it? It escapes and eludes me. The tides wash me away. So if we've done da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da, the tides wash me away, and just clear it, wash me away, the desert, and is that too simple? Let's try it. What can I contain of it? It escapes and eludes me. The tides wash me away. The desert shifts. Slight movement under my feet. Can we break it down? So, what can I contain of it? It escapes and eludes me. The tides wash me away. The desert shifts under my feet. It's a big poem, isn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to try and do all the actions together. And I think because it's so big, let's take our time. What I'd like you to do, though, is really think about the performance aspect of your voice. So slow it down. Make your voice be gentle and calm and sweet to listen to. Should we try it? The Moment by Kathleen Rain. To write down all I contain at this moment, I would pour the desert, make the shape, through an hourglass, well done. The sea through a water clock, keep it still. Grain, grain by grain, and drop by drop. Sway your hands, letting the trackless, measureless, mutable seas and sands stop. Let's go on to the second verse. For earth's days, that's right, and nights are breaking over me. The tides, and the other one, and sands are running through me. Show me your 2 hands. And I have only 2 hands and a heart to hold the desert and the sea. What can I contain of it? It escapes, yeah, and eludes me. The tides wash me away. The desert shifts under my feet. How did you do? Should we try it one more time? And I'm not going to say what the actions are. You just join in with me, all right? As usual, what I'll do is I'll leave the words up at the end of the video, okay? And you can have a look. And when you look at the words, say them out loud and see how, again, how they resonate, how they make you feel, okay? And maybe find your own actions. Or you can copy Miss Naomi's. Shall we try it? This is our last time together. Okay. The Moment by Kathleen Rain. To write down all I contain at this moment, I would pour the desert through an hourglass, the sea through a water clock, grain by grain and drop by drop, letting the trackless, measureless, mutable seas and sands. For earth's days, and nights are breaking over me. The tides and sands are running through me, and I have only 2 hands and a heart to hold the desert and the sea. Oh, I got that wrong. To hold the desert and the sea. What can I contain of it? It escapes and eludes me. The tides wash me away. The desert shifts under my feet.